It's Gateway to Geats time, everybody! And boy, got a video for you for this week. We got multiple videos. Oh, what? Stay tuned. Um, as I've said previously in this series, the players only really win. They have only really won when they work together. When they're not butting heads, when they're not at each other's throats. Only when they're working together. Ultimately, the show showing how isolating oneself makes it all the harder to achieve your desires. Geats saying pull yourself up by your bootstraps is bullshit. Others can help you, and you can help others. And like Ace has been saying for the past couple episodes, everybody deserves to be happy. And this episode solidifies that idea. Because we have, on one level, the Trickstars making plans or figuring things out. They're going like, all right, cool, what's our playing pieces, blah, blah, blah. And they all basically kind of agree that, like, Keiwa is just lost. Like, he's in a bad place. He's being taken advantage of by bad people. Keiwa is not irredeemable. They just gotta help him, gotta save him. So they start developing a plan. They start figuring things out. They go to Daichi, Ned Sparrow, and they basically go like, all right, nerd, tell us about your fucking tree. So he takes him to the tree, and he goes like, yeah, no, this is where I held all the memories and all that kind of stuff. He's still snide and makes those kind of comments, and it's just like, yeah, but then the world changed, and it's not here anymore. And they basically go like, all right, cool. So we fixed the world, it'll be back to normal. Good, got it. And basically the whole point, the whole thing is also said of like, why would Daichi help him? And Ace goes like, well, you took the knowledge from the tree, right? It's like, yeah. Alright, cool. So you understand all of those people's joys and happiness and their experience of life? Yeah. Oh, cool. That means you probably also got the guilt of snuffing all of that out because you gain empathy by understanding other people, and Daichi just shuts up and just looks very fucking guilty. And it's just like, oh, yeah, no, understanding people and reaching one's desire means community and not just self-isolation, almost as if that's a major theme of the show. Whoa. You know? And Wen goes to go help Tamori. Basically go like, alright, cool, we need her to help out. I'll go save her. Because he's a sneaky little dude like that. Neon is also just genuinely building bonds with her mom. It seems like it's very much, I wouldn't say perfect, because the mother does seem to try and like use the money she has to like make up for all the harm she's caused to Neon, and Neon's like, no, 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 I just want to spend time with you. Like, it's not treated like that. It's just like, no, I'm happy. And it's like a way of just saying like, the way you make up for all the bad you did is to do good with me. And I think that's a very valid way to treat people who abused you, who didn't realize they were abusing you, and are seemingly genuinely sorry about that, and like genuinely like, I want to make up, I want to not be this asshole, I don't want to be an asshole anymore, as the Menzingers would put it. And so like, yeah, that makes total sense. And then we have a Dupont jump scare. Dupont just shows up and puts the ultimate cherry on all these ideas, because he is the ultimate isolationist. He is the one who says, fuck the world, fuck everybody, I'm my own dude, fuck it all, right? And all that kind of stuff. And this ultimately gives Keiwa his last big wake-up call before his confrontation with Ace. Because basically, they're mask off, and they say like, oh, hey, by the way, that person you felt viscerally disgusted at in the beginning of the show, Dupont, yeah, he's here, and you're working with him. What? Why am I working with him? Don't worry, you're still the big dog. No, why am I working with him? You know, and it's just like, okay, there's something up here. And they organize a final fight with Ace and Keiwa. Ace shows up, and he starts the fight with just trying to talk Keiwa down. It's like, hey, nobody has to suffer. people suffering is fundamentally going against what you want. And Kayla rebukes him and just goes like, yes, but I don't see any other way I can bring my family back. I care about that. Like, he's willing to make a deal with the devil to help the people he cares about. And Ace goes like, yeah, there is. You just gotta work with me. We gotta work together. And Kayla's just a little too lost in the sauce right now, so they get a fight going. God damn, this is a good fight, but we'll get into that in a moment. Near the end of the fight, Ace just like stops fighting and lets Kayla get one real big hit in, and Kayla goes like, whoa, what the fuck? Why? Stop, hold on. Why did you let me hit you? Why did you stop fighting? And basically Ace goes like, because now you're listening. Because now you're paying attention to what I'm saying and not just being angry. You know? And Ace just goes like, hey, I have the power, but I need help. I can't do this alone, and I want to help you get your family back. I want everybody to achieve their happiness. And while all that's happening, Samori just basically shows up and doubles down on like that, Keiwa, this isn't who you are. Everybody deserves happiness. You are just causing more suffering. We'll help you. We can get your family back. And it basically, Ace is going like, believe in me. And it's not so much of like blind faith, belief in God and all that kind of stuff. It feels much more of like, hey, we're friends. We're a community. We help each other out. You just gotta believe in me. Right? And just gotta believe in the other people around you that you can help each other. And Keiwa is like one final like angry spurt of misjudgment and all this kind of stuff. He just goes like, you gotta prove it. You got to prove it to me somehow. And he takes a swing at Ace, basically going like, if you aren't able to even just stop this, it's not worth it, right? It's kind of that idea of, it's that one little final test of like, can you block my sword? Can you stop this? And if you can, then maybe you are right. Maybe there is something to what you're saying. However, Samori seemingly sends her god powers to Ace. He stops everything. He stops the blade. He's like, all right, cool, I'm good. And Keiwa's just immediately like, what the fuck? And Ace ends the episode remaking the world. We see the crew work and plan together, and they're achieving their goals. They're working together and not just at each other's throats. They put their trust in each other, and that is what ultimately leads to the fact that they can change the world. Is that they trust each other, that they care about each other. They aren't just players, they are a crew. They aren't just pawns, they are their own people, and they have formed a community to help each other. This episode was fantastic. Great fight choreography, great interesting bits to use with the fight. Like, the brief moments when they were doing like full-on Dragon Ball Z air fighting, that was cool. But I also really love how Keiwa used his cape to like distract his sword strikes, and like, oh man, that's fun. That's like, oh, that's neat. It's fencing and swashbuckling. Everybody got something to do except like Michinaga. Buffa didn't really. He was there to just be like the angry, like, why the fuck you, like the angry voice of reason in scenes, which is fine. We've had a lot of Buffa, so it's okay for him to kind of, I wouldn't say be on a back burner, but just kind of be like the anger interpreter for Ace. It's fun. This was a really good episode, and I cannot wait to see more. Also, by the way, we did get a cameo from the movie bad guy that's coming out soon. Cool! They seem like a bunch of cool little dudes. But hey, did you like this video? Well, guess what? You can catch my next video essay right now on Patreon! Yes, I finally have a new scripted video essay. By the way, I make these by like making notes and kind of improving. So I do make actual genuine scripted video essays. I have a brand new one. It's going to be out on Friday for everybody, but right now you can watch it early for as little as $1 a month on Patreon. $1 a month gets you access to exclusive content and videos early, as well as a Discord role. Yes, I do have Discord. The link is in the description. $5? No, it's $3 a month. Gets your name at the end of the video and more perks as the things go up and up and up. But yeah, it is about crossovers. It is about the Geats Revice movie. It's about the intersection of those. It's about how you write crossovers. I'm pretty proud of the video. Also, there is a little cameo from a certain V-Man. So if you're excited about all that, please go support me on Patreon. But if you don't have the money to do that right now, or you feel like you don't want to just support me on Patreon, that's fine. Just wait till Friday. It will be out, and I hope to see you there. But in the meantime, if you want to do other things, what? Okay, cool. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, at Boingo_writer. I am also on Tumblr, link is in the description, and I'm also on Mastodon. You can follow me there at Boingo_writer, at vt.social. I also stream on Twitch. You can go follow me on Twitch. Hopefully I'll have some more stuff going on with that soon. I've just been kind of in a streaming funk, but hopefully that's coming out on the other end. And in the meantime, I think it's time we get to some comments. First up from Fish Pop. Nago Sr. got a good showing, but sadly is a one-off. He was just a parts retool anyway. Seeker's Head, Tattle Fantasy Armor, and Holy Live Arms. That's how you're supposed to pronounce it. Holy Burp Live Arms. I'm sorry. I love how Buffa never uses his offhand to do the poison charge. Makes sense with the claw. Yeah. Nago is back with a form that actually matches her helmet. Baroba got her ass handed to her and showed a hint of something else going on with her. Token evil version of the main writer next episode. Pretty much Nemesis Prime colors, save for the purple eyes instead of red. Yeah, but hey, at least it was a really interesting retool, you know? It looked like its own individual thing without going super far into one thing or another. And yeah, the whole Nago's power-ups, the ones that are like meant for Nago, I feel like they fit every single time. They look really good. Nago just has like a good solid helmet, suit. They work. They're really good. It flows really well. Yeah, definitely something's gonna happen with Baroba. Just who knows exactly what, but I think something interesting though is how Baroba's downfall last episode matches up with the themes of this one, because Baroba doesn't really have a community, doesn't really have a group of people that are genuinely agreed with her. It's just more of like alliances of convenience, you know? And I think that's just something about how she loves misery and other people, and it's like, you know, there's a bunch of little things. A bunch of little things. You know? Next up from Toa Nui. It was nice to see Neon finally get another win, as it feels like it's been forever. Hell, even her last win didn't feel all that satisfactory considering how it ended. On that note, thinking how long it feels like it's been since Neon had a win kind of reminded me of how different time can feel when watching these week to week compared to binge watching, where now it feels like it's been an eternity since she had a positive moment, but it'll probably seem like a lot less time on a rewatch. Slightly more on topic with the episode in this season, I think fantasy has to be one of the most unique powers I've seen in Kamen Rider, although with so many, it's possible to forget, I just forgot, or haven't seen another with phasing capabilities. And considering Boost 9 this season has the most uniqueness I've seen in Kamen Rider for a while, and shifting away from Neon, I like that we are starting to see the requirements that Geats needs to use his creation powers on medium to large scales, and it's interesting to see that it basically requires multiple people to share that same wish, and might also be powered by the amount of followers / allies he has. Yeah, the week-to-week definitely impacts the viewing experience, and I wouldn't say for better or worse, it's just a different way to view this stuff. Because there's a person I follow on Tumblr, I can't remember her Tumblr right now, I may put a link in the description, but she has been rewatching Geats while watching it currently, and just picking up on little bits and things that she has noticed, and that's like, oh my god, yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Like, there was one thing where she pointed out, it's like, oh, it's interesting how Ace never challenges people, like never is like disparages other people's desires and like their wants, and he always shares food, and it's like, oh yeah, of course, because that's a necessity. Everybody needs to eat. Everybody has a desire, and those need to be respected, but everybody needs to eat, and that's a great equalizer amongst everybody. And I think that's a fact, like, you don't pick that up while you're watching week to week, because it's like, it's 3 weeks between eating scenes, right? But when they're right back to back each other, you pick on that, which I think is neat. Oh yeah, and on the whole power set thing, the whole crew has interesting powers. Geats' powers are very interesting. Neon has like fascinating powers, because it's like, it's not just phasing, it's literally like it's phasing, it's shadow cloning kind of bullshit, right? It's manipulation of a lot of like visual elements, and plus she has all that like floating sword shit, which is neat. And I even would say like Keiwa has some interesting powers. It's like very bog standard ninja shit, but the way they've used them is pretty interesting. Sorry, Buffa, you get the short end of the sword because you just have a poison sword. It is a chainsaw though, which is cool. And you know what? It totally makes sense that like a god would need followers to use all their power, you know? And I think the genuine connection Ace is building is what makes it what will probably make it more powerful than using the depleted desire of others like the previous goddess had to use, or were forced to use, you know? It's like Geats can use genuine desire of the people around him instead of a partial desire of people who failed, you know? And I think that's interesting, you know? And finally, from Esconde, well, I believe Neon's parents still have quite a ways to go before I consider that they set things right with her. Count me in on hoping that Neon continues to move out while the relationship with her family gets mended over time. If I can consider her own declaration as of this episode, our main four have all gotten their wishes granted. It's ironic that for how Niram told Kyosei before as a taunt insult that maybe he should try giving his daughter the love that she was seeking, that what the latter ends up doing is that the first step needed to work towards doing better by her. Also, agree that Quantum Ranger power does sound cooler. Much as I love fantasy, part of me wishes it could have been Quantum Buckle or the double reference to both Power Rangers and Super Sentai. Also give Kyosei a T-Rex helmet and ID core. Neon's fight debut with Fantasy was just fantastic. The new powers and the new henshin stance. Love that everyone's changing up their henshin poses for their final forms. Really enjoyed the confirmation between Michinaga and Keiwa, the latter even tried to avoid fighting him at first. While I do appreciate Michinaga continuing to take responsibility for the consequences of his actions, how things played out really highlight, in my opinion, how bad of a job he does when it comes to communicating. He made excellent points. I even think he could have stood a chance in convincing Keiwa had he not led off with saying that there was a way to save Sarah, only to immediately follow up with telling Keiwa that he botched it all with his wish. Well, as some others have pointed out, we get to see Keiwa's hypocrisy again this episode, having fallen from the guy who said he would refuse to choose ignorance over the Desire Royale to try and depend the blame on what happened to Neon on goons who did it on their own. Yeah, the show has gone out of its way to say, like, there's no magic button that just gives you what you want, and, like, you have to work with it, you have to work at it, and you have to work with the people around you. You have to build community. You can't do this alone. You can't just fight the world and get what you want. You have to build community. You have to have friends and family help you and pick you up when you're down, you know? And ultimately, that's how everybody gets their wish, is not through magic MacGuffin bullshit. It's by helping each other out. Win wanted, like, it wasn't his wish, but Win wanted to, like, have purpose and a value in the world, and helping everybody is doing that. Neon wanted true love, and she's found it with her friends, and have basically gotten her family to like recognize her and recognize their actions, and now they're trying to mend those relationships. Michinaga wanted the Kamen Riders to basically rectify the actions that they took, and through the process of the show, he realizes like, oh, the Kamen Riders were just victims of the system, but also taking advantage of the system, all these different intricacies, and it's come to the point of like, I want to help people, I want to help stop this from other people suffering, right? And now he's getting the chance to do that. And Keiwa ultimately is the biggest example of the wish you make with the magic button failing spectacularly, and that having no support network or throwing it away hurts you. And now that support network's coming in and saying like, no, Keiwa, we care about you, help us, well, help us help you, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's really neat. I think that's really cool. And yeah, it was really boneheaded of Michinaga to just lay that all out there, but like, he's a very blunt dude, and I think it totally makes sense for how it is like structured, you know, like Michinaga comes in and says blank, and then Samuri goes like, hey, are you sure about this? And now Ace is finally coming in and say like, hey, you have doubts, believe in me, I can help you. And Keiwa is just like, how can I believe you? What can I like? And like, it is proven like he can believe in Ace, right? And I think that's a neat parallel between like earlier in the season where believe in Ace was like this whole big question of like, can you believe in Ace because he betrays you this one time, but can you believe in Ace this other time? And it's like because like, I wouldn't say it's a theme, but it's like it's an element of Ace's character of like, sometimes it's hard to trust people have like the best interests of you at heart, but you got to take that leap, and sometimes taking that leap is valuable, you know. And I ultimately think next episode Keiwa is going to be on, I wouldn't say on the up and up, but like, he's going to be on the path of like, okay, I fucked up, Ace, what can I do to help, you know? Oh yeah. And it's really good episode this week. I hope you enjoyed that episode, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Hey, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this video, to this channel, to see videos like this and many more. I am back on that video essay game. What's up, yo? Check back on Friday to see it come out. And until next time, keep on geetsing on.